guys. Welcome to Sofa City Sounds. Hopefully you can hear. I guess I should put the volume up on my phone. There we go. Anyway, welcome to Sofa City Sounds. It's been a few weeks. We are here for possibly our final Thursday interview. More on that later. And introduce yourself so we can tell you who we're here with tonight.
I'm Adam. I play bass in Death Club and everything in Flesh Guzzler.
Awesome. Right on. I'm not used to doing it. You're going to have to forgive me because usually I do this over the internet. So I'm talking to another screen. I'm not actually talking to a human. So now I feel like I'm in interview mode versus shoot the shit mode.
We can shoot the shit.
So it's going to be a little weird. But fuck, it's been a while since I've seen you, man. How have you been?
Pretty good.
Right on.
Pretty busy. I did a new Flesh Guzzler song that's going to be released Canada Day, July 1st.
Nice.
I recorded that with, I recorded it by myself, but then I did overdubs with like basically a choir of dudes from Stuck in Neutral, Crimson Asphalt,
Right on.
Divine Curse, and Deafen. We got Miko in there, and
Right on.
we're just like, I don't know, 10 or so guys just belting out.
Really?
Yeah. So you
Cool.
can, I think Rick has it up. Maybe it's the 5th song he played or something the other day on Chronic Noise.
Right. We shared that the other night.
Yeah. And then, but that's the exclusive first listen. Then you're gonna have to wait till July 1st.
But I might end up getting a sneak peek now because I had to work Monday night. I didn't get to listen. So that really sucks, but I'm sure I'll get to hear it soon.
Yeah, well, you can go into I don't know.
His YouTube channel.
His YouTube channel. It's all the whole thing's
That's
possible.
right.
So
And I
you
should
can
know
listen
that
to it,
because I do my recordings the exact same fucking ways.
yeah.
Just a heads up for anybody that is jumping into the chat. Neither of us can see what you're writing because my phone is halfway across the room and y'all are about this big to us. So we'll reply to, don't bark please, we'll reply to all of the messages when we're done the interview. Yeah, so Flesh Guzzler, new song. Debuted on Monday with Rick Hall. Shout out to Chronic Noise because those guys are fucking amazing.
Hell yeah.
Fucking
Ontario metal every fucking Monday.
So this has come up a few times. In the last 3 years, not one shitty band has come out of Ontario. Not one that I've been introduced to or somebody has sent me their music, or every band I've listened to is fucking top tier right now. Can't say that for the rest of the country, but as far as Ontario music that I've been given goes, every band is great. They're up there. So yeah, we'll continue with Flesh Guzzler. I want to get the history on it, how you ended up doing everything on your own and stuff. But oh shit, I got Is he out? Come on. And there you go. This is gonna be a fun episode, guys. You can come here. Yeah, no. I'll take that. So it's probably going to be an interesting episode. Cat versus dog this evening. So this is Ronald. He's the nuisance from past episodes. Have you ever seen? I can't remember what the name of her channel is, but she's the farmer that owns the ostrich named Karen, right? And every time Karen comes running, she does this. Well, that's how I feel with my dog and the cat. The cat will provoke the dog when nobody's looking. The dog gets in trouble for eating the cat because that's what we see, right? And she's so much bigger than the cat. So there we go. Cat's in my room. Okay, let's try and finish that sentence. So before the chaos ensued, I want to get to like the history of Flesh Guzzler and how everything happened. But we are going to pepper in Deaf Club as well.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so let's just start with this announcement because I haven't done any interviews, reached out to any bands or anything yet, but you guys are on the lineup for Ryefield this year.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you done any of the Ryefield parties yet? Like, have you been to any of the?
No, I think Dana and Chelsea were at the last
Chelsea,
one,
yeah,
and I didn't make it. So I'm really stoked to check that out because I hear it's kind of like similar. We did Trailer Bash.
Oh, that's fun. Tell me more about that.
That was fun. I just set up a tent and we partied all day and then played our set. Actually, we played during the day, so it was great because
That's
then we could
Party at night.
yeah. I mean, I think I caught most of the bands. I think I missed the last band because I just passed out.
Yeah. Well, that's like Ryefield, right? We all get to camp there. So it's free parking, free camping, $30 a ticket, pre-show day, $40 a ticket of the show, the day of the show, because Amanda doesn't articulate full sentences. $40 a ticket the day of the show, free parking, free camping. We'll have food on site like we did last year. I think another tattoo artist is coming out again this year. Last year, Rick got tattooed, which was pretty, I got pictures of it, which was pretty cool. Wow. And I sent them to him. He was like, I never thought to get it. And I was like, I'm on it. Yeah. Right. So it's a fun party. We start, last year I got there at 9 a.m. and I didn't crawl to my car. And I say that being sober. I didn't crawl to my car until about 4 a.m. Mm-hmm. And even at 4 a.m., they were like putting more wood in the fireplace and like all sitting around chatting. Like I was done. Yeah. I was toast. But it's a wild party. Like it's just like a big barbecue and everybody gets together and everybody's happy to be there. And you know, they do the 50-50 and BYOB, which is fucking cool because you don't get a lot of parties like that. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I can't wait. I have my store, Dark Culture Corner, because we have a store in the flea market here in St. Catharines. Yeah. And we're going to be setting up a booth there. So we'll have so my partner Nikki, who's one of the main sponsors for the Mayhem Metal Market, they will be out there this year. She'll be out there with Dark Culture. So we'll have a table there and I'll be after everybody for their money and I'll go in your pockets and take it. I tell you guys that every year. But I get it. I achieve it somehow. So
yeah, so we got that and coming up, well, I mean, right now we're live, so I mean I don't have to wait for the delay. On the 31st, we're playing in Derry.
Right? Where are you guys playing?
CW Coops. I've never been there before.
Okay.
But yeah, stoked to play. I think this is why I should bring it. Yeah. Because I was about to.
We talked about that yesterday too. You were like, I'm gonna write down the points, and I was like,
I wrote down nothing.
Yeah, no, I see.
But we're playing on the 31st in Derry. I know that.
But that's what keeps these things authentic, right? Is you actually have to think about what you're talking about and put that effort into the conversation.
Yeah.
I find that when things are pre-scripted, like at one time I did like do the research and go looking for the information. Yeah. And it was fucking stressful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when I was done the interview, if I missed a question, if I didn't ask it properly, if I didn't give enough time for the answer, if there was an awkward silence, I was like, you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's more authentic this way.
Well, I mean, like, love or hate, like the guy Joe Rogan as a person, like,
right.
But the format,
his dynamic is great.
It's great. Like,
so I've seen every episode. I mean, love him or hate him, but he, on his platform, no matter what side he stands on his platform, he has had everybody on that show. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if the world loves that person or the world hates that person. He gives that person the opportunity to speak. Yeah. And I think a lot of us have forgotten how to do that.
Yeah, and it's just free form. It's just talking. Like, what do you think about this? You know?
Yeah.
No agenda.
Well, and I think that's what it is. Well, you know, that's the way he makes it seem. And I think that's what gives it that comfort when you're watching and gives the guests the comfort when they're there. You know, there's no judgment.
Yeah.
You know, here, let's smoke a joint if you smoke a joint. Let's drink a beer if you drink, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna try to attempt to roll this.
Are you gonna roll that with your nails?
Yeah, we're gonna try anyway.
Okay. Let's go.
We're gonna try anyway. She might be a little bit pregnant. But I did it.
You got it.
Not bad.
That's a joint.
Not bad, right? It doesn't matter how she thank you. Doesn't matter how she looks as long as she burns, right?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I think the authenticity of doing this is what's important. This is it, right?
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Spicy pineapple.
It's got that little bit of a bite, but it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
This is my answer to drinking with my friends who drink,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't, but it looks like I am, right? And after a few of them, I'm probably bloated and funny. So it's the trauma that makes me funny, though, not the pop.
The pop's just the bloating.
Right. You know, so I fit right in. Oh God. Yeah, I know. See, I don't think before I speak. This is why we don't script this shit. Is because I don't think before I speak, so it's a surprise for everybody, right? Because I might say something, and to me, I'm like, oh, it's fine. And you might have that 5-minute awkward silence where you're like, where's the exit?
Sometimes it's a surprise to yourself what comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, it is. I don't. Yeah, I sometimes I think before I speak, not always. I mean, everybody knows me by now, and if they can't handle the fact that I think I'm obnoxious and hilarious in the same sentence, that's not my problem. I mean, I built a fucking career on it, right? Being the shit show, the local musical shit show, right? So, keeps me busy. It keeps everybody else entertained. So, speaking of entertainment, like that was a terrible segue, but we're going to go with it anyway.
I like
right?
that.
So, when did you start as a musician? What was that moment in your life, whether you were here, or like, what was that moment in your life where you were like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
Probably like when I had a MacBook, a family MacBook.
Yeah.
I was like maybe 14 or so, and I realized that GarageBand was just stock. And I don't know if I want to reveal that this might be an exclusive reveal. I still record on GarageBand.
That's like those people that were diehard LimeWire so you couldn't get into it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't mix and master myself, so
Right.
I just send people stats. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. When I found that program and just started, like back in the day, I didn't even know how to use a metronome, so it was off. It was completely unlistenable.
Right.
But like, I was just playing around, you know, and it's cool that that was an option. Like, you know, it had the GarageBand on there, and you could just hit record, play drums,
Yep.
and then play guitar.
Yeah,
And
just kind of.
And then you layer it, and it's like, now it's a song.
So is that how you started doing your thing solely, or did that come about later on?
So that's how it came about later on that I started doing Flesh Guzzler in particular.
Right.
And that really came about just because I was playing in a pop punk band at Vancouver Vision. Shout out.
I was going to ask you about that, so it's good that you brought it out.
And you guys are great, still my personal friends. But I kept sending them little, you know, things I record and like demos.
Mm-hmm.
And they were always like too like metal, like almost like I tried to make it punk, but it came up basically hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
and that's not the vibe we were going for. So I was like, okay, well, what if I just do something that's like completely authentic
Right.
to what I want to do with music. And
Right.
that's what Flesh Guzzler is. Like, it's just free form thing.
Right.
Like I don't really have much of an intention of like I want to write songs that are like this. I just write songs that I want to listen to. Like just
Right.
I write the things
Right.
that I want to hear.
Yep. Yep.
And you know, like it might not translate sometimes, but you know, it's authentic, right?
I think when it comes to projects specifically like that, sometimes as much as you put it out there to the public to hear, it's not about their translation.
Mhm.
It's about your translation, and you want to share it with them, whether or not they quite have the same understanding that you do.
Mhm.
How did you come up with the name?
Oh,
I gotta know. I'm sure I mention you
Yeah.
quite often as one of those top tier strange names that I like. How did you come up with it?
So it partially because I just wanted to think of like what's the grossest like single word compound word that you could put together.
Yeah.
Two words shoved together. Like guzzle is kind of like that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Flesh is that's kind of weird. Like even people that eat meat, like sometimes it's like the word flesh is kind of like, and that's the other thing. I'm vegan.
Right.
It's ironic.
Having respect that I am complete opposite. I'm typo negative blood, right? So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different for me, but
Yeah.
So I could see how that all kind of tied. Yeah, that was interesting. I knew I was going to get to ask that. But up until tonight, the interviews that I've done, which have been very sporadic, and we'll explain that in a minute. Anytime I'm like, hey, what's the weirdest band name you've ever heard? Or what's, who's the coolest that you've heard or whatever. And all kinds of weird band names come up and you go, you're always my throw on the table. Right?
Nice.
You guys, Creme Flash.
Creme Flash.
It's like,
Yeah.
I can't remember where they said they got their name from because I've been.
Well, so I'm pretty sure. Now I might be talking for them, but this was what my interpretation.
Right.
Was.
Yeah.
You ever watch South Park? And there's that one episode where Randy is watching the cooking channel, and the guy's like, "Creme fraiche." You got creme fraiche on top, and so he starts putting creme fraiche on everything.
On everything.
So. Creme flash.
Yeah.
That's what instantly. That's what
I can see. I mean, I've been watching South Park since the day it debuted, so I can totally get that.
Yeah.
And meeting those guys and talking to them and knowing them, it makes complete sense. It does. It makes complete sense with them. Guys. But they're great guys. Yeah. Speaking of great musicians, shout out to Dana and Chelsea. The other two from Def Club.
Hell yeah.
Who, this is kind of weird because eventually, hopefully, I'll get to interview all of you at the same time. But the last time I interviewed them, it was for Def Club. This time it's for Flesh Guzzler and Def Club.
Yeah.
But I never get to interview fucking three of you at the same time.
Yeah.
Ever. Never. Every time I set something up with you guys, unless it's a show, I always get 2/3 or 1/3.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, we're all over the place too, like so it doesn't. Sure. Yeah, we're all over the place because like I'm from Hamilton,
right?
And, they're from wherever. So
they're from over there. Is one of them from Newmarket or live in Newmarket? Kind of. You guys jam in Newmarket? Newmarket has come up. I don't know.
We have jammed in Newmarket. We've jammed in Barrie.
Maybe you guys were playing there when I interviewed them last. It's been a while. Like I haven't actually sat down with any of you guys, and I don't remember the last time I saw you guys play.
Were you at was it Welland? The bank? Were you at the bank in Welland?
The birthday party?
Yeah.
I threw that.
Yeah.
I was there.
So you
I
were
was there.
definitely there.
Yeah, I
So that was probably the last time we were all.
Wait a minute. Did you guys play Hamilton at Corktown before or after that? Because I did try Felix merch at Corktown. And I feel like it was shortly after that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe after that? I don't know. Pictures on my wall. Hang on.
Oh, and then we also did St. Catherine's.
Dive Pub?
Yeah, we did Dive Pub.
Okay, so this show was June 24th. Excuse me. So it was after. Because we did the show on June 8th. Because it was Dana's birthday.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I remember that. Happy early birthday, Dana. I don't know how I remember that. So we did Birthday Massacre, and then Corktown, and then Dive Pub might have been after that. Why are we? You have all the food. Your sister gave you a peanut butter ball. Like, what? Or is it because we're not paying attention to you?
You want to join?
Did you have one? So, Boxing Day, disclaimer. I didn't give it to her. She thinks she's a cat, so she climbs on things like the freezer, the tables, the counter. She ate one of my weed buttons.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
make potent weed cookies, so I only make them like this
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
right? Also, gotcha.
I
You like that, eh?
didn't even catch it.
I mean, technically the whole time it was below the waist, right? But I make these weed buttons, and she jumped up on the stove and grabbed one from the back of the counter. And it was not good. The whole day I worried and cried and freaked out and whatnot. While she walked around with her ass the whole time because she couldn't stop her tail. It was like she had, Great Danes get happy tail. Okay, so it was like she had happy tail and her ears were down the whole time, so it looked like she had pigtails. And she had this smile on her face that made her look like the back of her lips and her ears were connected.
Like the Joker.
And yes. And she just walked around the whole house the whole time with this smile on her face, wagging her tail. Now, I will say, it was terrible that she went through it because, it shouldn't have happened. I had it on the counter. It's not like I was being irresponsible, but I probably could have been even more responsible. Thank God it was only one, but I don't think she'll ever eat another one of my cookies again.
Yeah.
Ever. Now the thing that did suck was she couldn't get down the stairs, so she peed at my house.
Yeah.
But small price to pay because she was okay. We did take her for a checkup. We told them what happened. She was fine. She was fine. She's obviously still fine.
Yeah.
But it happens. It happens. I've seen it before where, people record only that 30 seconds that's funny and you think it's hilarious. And then it happens to your animal and you're like,
yeah. And it's funny for a little second and then it's like, oh, this is actually kind of sucks.
Yeah, until the animal starts freaking out. And you're like, oh, shit, what am I going to do? Yeah. So that's how my Boxing Day was spent, was babysitting my high dog. And the problem was my cousin and I had just eaten 2 cookies.
Oh.
So not only was the dog high, but my cousin and I were high. So that was fun. But yeah, so you're a dog person. You have Watson. What's that her name was? How old is she?
Oh God.
Yeah, sorry, asking all the hard questions.
Oh God, I feel like such a head over her, but she's got we had one. So this is the thing. We had 1 year where we for whatever reason flipped and thought she was one age. We thought she was turning 8, but she was turning 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
So at this point, she's about 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
And acts like a puppy still.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best. My 25-year-old cat just started settling down about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We foster senior cats. We have been for a while because my first cat, I've always been a dog person, ended up with a cat, not by choice, but I ended up taking him in the divorce. So that's how much I loved him. So he lived until he was 20 years old. So I decided, since he was doing so well, we were gonna foster senior cats because nobody takes the senior cats.
Yeah.
So when we got Midna, we got her from a friend who was moving from Niagara Falls to Brockville. We got her when she was 19. We thought we were getting a senior cat. We've now had her for 6 years. She's 25 years old. Yeah. It's 126 in cat years, 124 in cat years. Yeah. So Eddie lived till he was 20. She's still going strong. She's just now in the last probably 2 years started settling down, but in the last 6 months, she's really like, she practically has taken over my entire room and I just let her.
Yeah.
And then Martin, I went into PetSmart for a dog toy. And I came out with a 13-year-old orange cat. And we took him because he attacked the PetSmart guy. And we knew that if he was acting like that towards somebody that had given him love, chances of him getting adopted and being rehomed again or getting adopted were going to be slim to none. So we took him home and I slept on the couch for a week and let him acclimate to the house. And now he's a big suck. He'll sit in the hallway and meow at you until you go pick him up. Somebody put him in a box and put him in the Valley Village donation bin. And that's how we ended up with him. But somebody brought him to the Humane Society and then we found out what happened to him and we took him.
Yeah.
Right. So after he had attacked that guy, we knew there was going to be issues with him and we took him. And he's the best cat ever. He's the best cat ever. I don't know. What else is there to chat about? Because we could sit here and shoot the shit about all kinds of stuff.
I got some stuff for you. Do you have a CD player anywhere?
I do.
Yeah, that's a few singles on there.
Awesome.
This is my full album. And there's a lyric booklet in there.
You got to sign these before
Sure.
you leave too. Definitely. This is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, right on. What I usually do is put them in the Xbox and the PlayStation and then download them. And
Okay.
then that giant fish tank that you walked past, there's about 4,000 CDs under there. So that's, and most of them are independent music.
Nice.
So yeah, so that'll go right on top of the collection and then we'll have it on the TV to listen to, which is awesome. So thank you. Where can people find your music?
All the major digital streaming services like Spotify, Apple, probably Amazon. I think I could say that for Death Club as well.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I could say that for Death Club as well as Flesh Guzzler. I know for Flesh Guzzler, I upload my music myself, and for Death Club, it was through JJ. Boot sale.
Yes. I was.
I know JJ.
It wasn't registering for me either. So, like you, right? So yeah. So who? No. Let me ask that after. Where can we find your merch, Death Club's merch, stuff like that? Where can we find you guys? Do you have like Facebook, TikTok, all that fun stuff too?
Yeah, we definitely we have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I can say certainly for both Flesh Guzzler and Death Club. YouTube, of course. And as far as the merch, Bandcamp.
Perfect.
Always good to go.
Yeah, and they're good to their bands.
Yeah, exactly. We need a resource like that.
Yeah.
And it's great that they're around.
Well, yeah. That's kind of why we got the flea market booth to make it easier for, like Bandcamp where they take very little. They also have their days where you guys get 100% of the proceeds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So we're going to try and do something similar, but in the flesh at the flea market where any local bands that we have their merchandise, you can come directly to us and get it.
Yeah.
And it just makes you guys more accessible.
Yeah.
More attainable, right? Because what places, what stores, where can you get local merch that you're not paying out the ass for shipping, because it's expensive for all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know what I mean? That's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about. People are like, oh, merch is expensive. Do you know what it costs us
Yeah.
and to get it to us, and then to lug it around to all the shows, and then to make sure that you guys are getting it at an affordable price, to make sure that we can re-up on merch, right? Because the goal is to try and buy more merch every time.
Exactly.
And it's not easy. Like we don't do it for the money. I say we. I'm not a musician, but I still do a lot of the same things you guys do, right?
You're in the same game for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like even now, like I'm saving up for my next run of Flex Guzzler merch, right?
Right?
You know,
Yeah. And like people think it's people who don't understand it think it's a lot more glorious than it is.
Yeah.
When I first started building shows in Niagara, because I've done shows all over the place, but when I first started building shows in Niagara, you guys were actually part of that, where like I've literally handed a band a $50 bill and been like, well,
Yeah.
cheeseburger money,
Yeah.
right? You guys, I've done that with you guys, where it's like, here's cheeseburger money. You know, we don't do it for the money, because when you guys are walking away with cheeseburger money, that means that I'm minus in the bank account.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, I don't know if to me, they're a huge band. Propaganda is like one of my favorites. And like,
they're awesome.
even them, like, they're still grinding. Like,
Yeah.
they like, you know, like, it's not like you get to a certain level and it's just easy. Like, they're still grinding, right?
Proportions.
Yeah.
I just hosted them a couple of weeks ago, and it's the same thing, right? Dealing with them is like it's like dealing with a local band that I, you know, am just finally getting started with.
Yeah.
And they've been in the game since 1979.
Yeah.
You know, and everything we had to do with them was the exact same I would do with local bands. And the entire country knows who the Dayglow Abortions are.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And still the same thing. We still on the phone negotiating prices and trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna sleep? And oh fuck, the van broke down. And because those things happen. You know what I mean? So just from here on in, just so everybody knows, nobody in this fucking industry does it for the money. Okay? None of us.
No.
None of us. I do it for the friendship and the family and the memories. You know, we've done some good shows. We've had some good times, some interesting memories, you know, and at the end of the day, that's really what it is, the community part of it. You know, it brings a lot of us together. There's a lot of us that go through trauma, mental health, illnesses, jobs we hate, you know, issues with our families and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, being on that stage or being in that mosh pit makes it all worth it.
Well, yeah, you're sharing art, and it's like you're in a community, and it's like everyone's here for the same thing. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And when everybody vibrates on the same level, our DNA matches. Our DNA changes to be on the same wavelength, and that's fucking cool. That every time you step into a space with somebody like that, you're at the same vibrational level. We actually physically, like on a metaphysical level, get to share it too, which is fucking interesting. So, hi. Not yet. Still live. That's okay. I said hi to you. So is it time for me to open my second? I should have just opened it.
I should have just opened it, yeah.
So I'm hoarding the drinks over here. It's my ADHD though. This is how you know I'm unmedicated. That and the 10,000 conversations. So we'll circle back.
Yeah.
Because we were going to move forward onto something else, and I was like, no, merch first, and I don't know where it went. It's gone now. Could you imagine if I drank when I was unmedicated? Right? I did at one time. Which is
it might make you lock in. Who knows?
Well, you know, that's the mushrooms. That is definitely the mushrooms. Yeah, I find my hyper focus thankfully has been in all the right spaces lately. We're killing it with the market, the Mayhem Metal Market, which we already spoke about, and the girls probably will. I'm sure they'll be on board, but I'm gonna say it out loud publicly just to make sure they don't have a choice. So next year, you guys are the first band on the bill. Not the first to play, but you're the first band that I have confirmed. We'll call it pre-confirmed, even though that makes no sense, but it does to me. Pre-confirmed.
Pre-save.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just click those pre-saves, you know.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know what that does on Spotify. I click those pre-saves and I like it's the same as if it just
I've never
listen to it.
I've never opened Spotify in my life. Never. People always look at me. They're like, "What do you do?"
Yeah.
YouTube Music.
Dana's not into Spotify either.
Good for her.
I just I don't know. I just caved. You know?
I get it. My kids are on that train too, and I'm like, YouTube Music. Like I pay for my premium.
Yeah.
And
they pay better.
They do. I think all corporate is bullshit. I think all corporate is bullshit, and I think I've got it figured out radio-wise. I just need a big enough following to be able to pull it off, and we're working on it. But I find that YouTube Music, if I can't find it on YouTube Music Premium, I can find it on YouTube. 0 ads, right? Because YouTube Music and YouTube are two different things.
Yeah.
You have to pay for premium for both. You used to be able to get them both under one deal, and now you have to pay it separately. But when you go on to YouTube Music specifically, if it's not on there, it's usually on YouTube. And I don't, no ads, no nothing if I'm looking for something on YouTube that should be on YouTube. So I can't complain. That, and I had Google Play before, and I was so used to everything with Google. I don't like to relearn new stuff. Like getting a new phone. I'm afraid a new phone sitting in my thing. I've had it for like 3 weeks. That phone is gonna die any second. And the whole it's that whole, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So, and plus I lose shit every single time I switch over a new phone. So it's sitting in there. It's been charged 3 or 4 times for me to switch my phone over. Have I done it yet? No. Is that one going to die? Most likely. Am I going to hate myself when it does and I lose everything? Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I have problems with my phone because it keeps saying it's like running out of storage space because I keep taking videos of bands and then like trying to make my own music videos and it's just done.
Yeah. So I had to make a new email because all my email is full because of all my video backup, right? And all my and like I go to anywhere from 1 to 3 shows a week, right? So I've got 10 pictures, but I always get at least 2 full songs, right? And so there's me on the train, delete. I don't need this app right now. I'll add this later. I can't tell you how many times I've taken my fucking banking app off my phone because I don't need it right now. Get home, move everything over to the desktop, which is also fucking full. I have these old records that were melted so that they're in bowls, like they've turned into bowls. They're all full of USB sticks.
Yeah.
Because my computer is full, my phone is full, my old phone is full that my kid uses. Which I just
USB.
Well, yeah. So when I don't currently have a vehicle, so I'm back to using the train. Pre my vehicles, I used the train to get everywhere, right? Anywhere that wasn't Niagara Falls. So on the way to shows, I would put my little connector in and I dump my phone onto USB sticks and throw them in my purse. And then I'd come home and I'd dump out my purse and find all my sticks. So I just kind of kept that going. And now I have all these little containers that are filled with USB sticks because I'm too lazy to wipe my fucking computer.
Yeah.
So
I get that on a spiritual level.
Yeah. Download has a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting being in music and being universal, especially when you understand vibration, because music that we listen to and play vibrates on 440, whereas most people who are in tune with the universe vibrate on 432. It's interesting how we have such a love for metal when we have such a disconnect in vibration. I didn't mean to do that, sorry. Brain breaks.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Hell
Cheers
yeah.
to that, because I have no idea what's going on now. I'm all saying things that I don't think before I speak. Now I'm like, fuck, where am I going to go after that? Would you imagine if I ate mushrooms before this adventure started?
I did.
Did you? I was going to say you're holding out. I have a pocket full of mushrooms. I just haven't microdosed in a while, and I don't like to go on a large trip without kind of giving myself that little bit of a build-up first, right? Because it's been 6 or 8 months. I'm going to eat a gram or two of mushrooms, and fuck, you're going to find me in a field in another city.
Yeah, just go hero dose.
Right.
Do it. Just do
Have somebody to fucking chain me. Yeah, I've ended up.
Visit hell and come back. Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, I do rule it. I should go visit every once in a while. I have this shirt that says "Satan is my sugar daddy," and me not thinking I was getting ready for work, and I put it on one night. And Melody comes out of her room and she goes, "Yeah, you are, Mom. You buy yourself stuff all the time." And I didn't put the connect together that she read my shirt and was like, "Yeah, you buy yourself," like calling me Satan, right? And so now I wear it all the time. Usually go shopping while I'm wearing it. So.
Well, speaking of Satan, that's a segue.
That was a way better segue than I. Mine was like talk show level. Yours was like super cool. Let's have a drink level.
I got a new song coming out. Wait, am I fucking up?
Okay.
Did we talk about this or did we talk about this before?
Want to smoke another joint?
July 1st.
We talked about
We
it.
talked about it.
But you didn't talk about the song. You just said that you have a song coming out.
Okay, so
You
it's,
said when.
yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the song.
So the song, it's called Exegesis.
Okay.
And it's basically it's gonna link what I talked about on my last EP with the next album that I'm gonna put out.
Okay, so it's kind of like that link between.
It's the link between. So it's I mean, it might just be better to go to Chronic Noise and listen to it. I mean, the basically the chorus of the song is, "If God is dead, is the devil a lie?"
Ooh.
So I thought that was a fun little kind of question to put out there.
Well, yeah, it definitely gives you that. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Right. That stops and makes you think.
Yeah.
And I like music like that. I like music that adds that element of thought or that element of conversation. Or right, because we hear music all the time. These things make me burp. Sorry.
Yeah, the ginger.
We hear good music all the time. It's gone. It's gone.
But I think I know what you were getting at. Just like,
I'll find it.
Philosophy, like putting philosophy into music, and
That's
and that's why I've started doing more lyric videos, because I put a lot of philosophy into my lyrics, but like sometimes with my delivery, like you can't hear what the fuck I'm saying.
Right. I know what I was gonna say was sometimes we get bands, we listen to their music and the music is great, but it's only great on the surface level, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh, this is fucking great. And then you get music like your music, where you listen to it and you're like, I think I need to listen to that again. Or, you know, when like having that link between albums, and kind of having some kind of background with it, it gives you that opportunity to actually talk about the music and the lyrics more in depth versus it being just oh, this sounds really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because there's a lot of bands that you hear their music and you're like, oh, this is really good. And then that's it. It's just really good, right? You don't want to talk about it.
And sometimes the lyrics are just silly, and that's cool too.
Yeah, I like music like that too.
Especially when it's, I love it when it's like you can't even hear what they're saying because it's like that kind of like that deep growl.
Yeah,
and then you read the lyrics and it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. You get the pig squeals, the guttural growls, right? And they're talking about like pink butterflies and Goldilocks and shit, and it's like, oh, that's how we rate death metal now, you know?
Yeah.
No, I think that's what I like about metal is it's so versatile. We have that opportunity to have that sound of seriousness, which relays into the way we all look and act too,
Mhm.
right? Like a lot of people for a long time, stereotypically, were afraid of a lot of us.
Yeah.
Right? You know, 20 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, oh my God, the 80s was 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody who wore black lipstick was associated with, oh, you've been arrested, or oh, you do drugs, or whatever, right? And now, like, I find it's a totally different thing. There's more of us than there is of the normies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's almost like we've become, I don't want to use the word mainstream society, but I'm going to say it. We've become the mainstream look
in a way.
Of society.
Yeah.
Right? Because tattoos used to be a thing of rebellion and a thing of oneness. And now, if you don't have a tattoo, you're a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I had, like, okay, so every one of my siblings, except for one, has tattoos. And me and my younger sister, she's right in the middle of us. Me and my younger sister always, pardon me, my younger sister and I, we're always like, hey, let's go get tattooed. Hey, let's go get sister tattoos. Let's go get sibling tattoos, right? We always, well, you fucking wreck it because you won't get tattooed. So now we can't get sibling tattoos because it's not going to be fair to leave you all pick on her all the time. Not a tattoo on her. She doesn't want tattoos. She's got her nose pierced. Barely has her ears pierced. I know, it's weird. I look at her with that face too, believe me. I judge.
You got a piercing but not a tattoo?
I judge. Right? I'm not judgy, but she's my sister, so you're damn right.
I mean, personally, I probably wouldn't get a piercing, but I'll get more tattoos. I don't know. Who knows? Everyone's different.
I don't know. Like my oldest, she's 14. I let her start getting facial piercings when she was 12 years old. The shit I caught.
Oh yeah.
The shit I caught from my kid getting her septum pierced or wanting to get her nose, and I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to say no? Yeah. Right? Like my eyebrow, I'm having them right now. My eyebrow's done, my nose is done, my tongue's done. Like I've got holes and tattoos everywhere. No, you can't have a tattoo. No, you can't have. Yeah. That's just gonna make her run out and do it and hide it from me. You know what I mean? Which I kind of did when I was a kid. So, because my mom always said I was going to regret my tattoos, and the only thing I regret is that I don't have more. Right? But it's like we have become like the normal looking people. I know. It made me a little sick. But yeah, we have become, I guess, the standard, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's because a lot of us have realized that suits don't do it like they should. Suits don't rule the world properly, right? So a lot of us are like, well, you know what? We're just going to be ourselves and see what happens. See how it goes.
You got one life.
You know? Well, yeah, we live every day and we only die once. Unless you're me, and you die twice. right? Because I've been there already. Which is why I fought so hard to stay alive, because we only take our memories. I say this quite often. We only take our memories. And the first time around, it wasn't because of everything that nothing that I had done, I regretted. It was the things I hadn't done yet and the memories I hadn't made that I regretted, because I knew I was only going with my memories. So I wanted to remember things that were going to be important to my next level, whereas the things I had gone through up until those heart attacks were not quite as. And I'll tell you, the last 7 years has been the best ride ever. I have the best life. I know I have shit, I get sick sometimes. I have issues with my TTP. It's hard being the only one with the girls, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I'd do it all over again. If me getting sick and having those heart attacks and being through what I went through meant that I was going to have this life, I would do it every time. Every time, if it meant I got to do what I wanted to do. And the best part about doing everything I do is not giving a fuck about anybody else that thinks I should be doing what I should be. You have to do no, I don't. I have to get up and I have to live every day like I'm not going to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have a 50-50 chance every single day of waking up. The only difference between me and everybody else is I'm aware of it. A lot of us take breathing for granted. People it's just another day, I've had a shit day, blah, blah. What happens if this is your last day?
Yeah.
It might be your last day.
Might be all of our last days.
Well, yeah. So there's this guy on TikTok, because I'm going to go there. There's this guy on TikTok that has this belief system that every time you go through something super tragic, you actually go through a death and you come back on another timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks he's died like 13 times. He's been in a major car accident. He lived. He fell off a bridge. He went through a major surgery. So he's done all these things and he's come this close to death. And coming that close to death, he thinks that his soul has actually died, or his meat suit has actually died, and his soul has come back on a different plane, right? And I don't know. It's interesting to look into. I think those rabbit holes are kind of fucking cool.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I go down the rabbit holes. It inspires me to write things.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I write just thought experiments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if this? Like, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent on the next album, and it's like, what if the world actually did already end?
Oh, like the 2012 theory? The Mayan
theory? We're just kind of like here.
Like this is purgatory?
Yeah, like
so to speak.
Yeah, and that's why it's so weird.
It makes sense, because if we're energy, that means we're infinite, and when we're here, we're infinite. So I've heard the theory where like our infinite selves, like those of us that are trapped here, our infinite selves have either forgotten something or did something to bring us here to remember who we are or what our significance of our infinity was. So that makes sense, because the only two things that are certain literally are death and taxes, which is like, I guess in a metaphorical sense too, payment for whatever it is that we've done.
Yeah.
Right, to get to this place. And then once we've learned our lesson, that's how we end up going back to infinity, which is why people are only here for a certain time. After you're born, you have a certain time to figure out what your journey is. And at the end of that, if you've figured it out, you go back to infinity. And if not, then you live from your near-death experience and you continue in finite. So I don't know. These are the things I think about when I'm by myself and not answering the phone. So I don't know. It's just interesting to open up conversation like that, because I don't think enough of us ask questions and wonder what's going on and stuff like that. And those of us or those of them, I should say, that do know, like, why the fuck are they gatekeeping? I want to know too, right?
Yeah.
Aliens? You think aliens exist? That's like an actual serious question because everybody asks that and they're like, that's ridiculous.
Like maybe some Jello. Some who are we to? We always anthropomorphize. I think
Wow.
we anthropomorphize aliens, and we're like,
Right.
so it's like, oh, if there's an alien, it's gonna be like walking on two. Like we make them look weird, but they're still they got a head, 2 arms, 2 legs.
Right.
Like why would we even think that they would necessarily have appendages like that? And they could just be
Unless those are unless those are things that have been nonchalantly put out there for us to kind of build on. Do you know what I mean? They've kind of planted the idea of that. And like have you ever seen the MK Ultra theory and all that stuff? Where
like Charles Manson.
like TV. Yeah, like how his original bill was $50,000, and by the time the money got from California to Toronto, he only had a $2,000 payment for the massacre. I know all about it. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? See, and that's why I asked you if aliens were real. Right? Like, and you go anywhere in the conversation. How come you're getting crazy? You've been in and out of the house all day. Well, you see, Mom, nobody's paid attention to me for 5 minutes. So I have to make sure that you know I'm still here. If I don't get up on time, like if I don't get up when she sees fit, her being the size she is, she will climb on my pillow and she will try and lay on my entire pillow without laying on my face. So I usually end up with like dog, and there's like this much room for me. She slides me off my pillow. So, but yeah, I read all about the Manson stuff, and like, so there was a few of his family members that were actually CIA.
Yeah.
So, what? Yeah, we're still alive. So, but yeah, like same with Jim Morrison. His father led the Gulf of Tonkin mission.
Oh, and there's something about the Grateful Dead. Even.
Yeah, and so come here. So apparently hippies were a government movement.
Yeah.
So and that's how Woodstock started. Woodstock was a whole CIA government thing. In order to,
it's like entrapment.
Well, it was kind of like to dull down the masses. You know what I mean? Here, feed them a whole bunch of drugs and shit, and they'll just do what we want because peace and love and chicken grease. You know what I mean? Like that's just how they infiltrated it. And then Laurel Canyon. Anybody that's ever stayed at Laurel Canyon to write music has had ties to CIA or the military. Most musicians from 1955 to 1985 have one direct family member that was part of CIA or military.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, now going back to that whole music is on 440 instead of 452, right? Which stops us from vibrating at the same level as the Earth does.
Can you just change that?
You can.
I can? How do I change that?
You tune your instruments to 432 hertz instead of 440. Okay. So musicians like Jimi Hendrix and Bob Marley. Have you ever heard anybody say they don't like Jimi Hendrix or Bob Marley? Ever? Do you know anybody who doesn't like that?
I don't think so.
They both tuned in 432.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah. And both of them were killed.
Yeah.
So, because
Bob Marley was shot. He was tried to be assassinated.
Cancer of the toe.
Oh. Okay. So
I think that was what it was 20 years ago. Maybe it's fucking pneumonia this year.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, he died of something stupid. And then Jimi Hendrix, it was his manager that killed him. So yeah. But yeah, it's the music industry is
So should I not tune to that?
Well,
Someone
yes,
might-
I know. Targeted, but also I like they had nothing but fans.
Yeah,
There wasn't people that didn't like them,
yeah.
right? Everybody that listened to them was a fan of them, and they both tuned in 432. So Beethoven actually was the first one to find the tritone, which is the tone that all metal musicians tone in, because that's what brings everything down, right? So he was actually the first one. And if you go through Beethoven's history, same thing. He's got the same type of history. It goes that far back. So yeah, but I don't know. It's been an interesting conversation.
Yeah. I feel like before we end, I should drop my events that are
Yes,
happening.
yes, I was gonna ask you
So-
about that.
July 1st, it's release date of the new song.
Yeah.
I'm also playing it at Duffy's Flesh Guzzler.
Oh, sweet. Who are
at
you playing with?
Duffy's, with I believe it's Don Valley
Love
and Crimson Asphalt. Sorry if I'm wrong.
Okay.
And maybe someone else
Is that a
too.
Karina show?
I believe it's a Korean
I'm
show.
gonna try and make my way out there.
Um,
Maybe I can jump in with Crimson Asphalt.
yeah. And then July. Oh, and I also I mentioned before, but the 31st of May, Death Club is
Yes.
playing Barry.
Yes.
And then we're also playing July 5th at Ravensgrove.
Where's that?
It's in Toronto.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly where it is.
I've never
but it's
heard
in
of that one.
It's like a backyard.
Oh,
It's just,
cool.
yeah.
Okay, right on.
It looks pretty cool. Outside.
That's fun.
Yeah, and then what else? July 13th, Flesh Guzzler, Hamilton, Ooey Gooey's.
Ooh, I might be able to make that one too.
Okay. And
Welcome to the Falls.
some tire screech. You're missing one, but definitely August 9th.
Yeah, there it
You know
is.
where it is, yeah.
Yeah, August
Yeah.
9th, the Rye Field
Right
Studios.
field, yeah. That's gonna be the big one.
Yeah, that. I'm already now doing my stretches for that party. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for that party. I get giddy like a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
It's every year is a good turnout. My first year I was sick and I kind of knew, but I didn't really tell anybody else because I wasn't missing, right? Because if I'm going, I'm going out doing what I want, not in a hospital room. That's for fucking sure. So I spent the day in my tent, and then I watched Cryophilic and Eaten by Sharks, laying in a sleeping bag with my pillow in the grass, hugging a teddy bear.
nice.
So that was fun. And then last year I destroyed everybody's pockets, and it was a wild fucking party. And this year should be the same. This year should be the same. I think we're going out the night before. So we can set up and get things ready. And then we get all the bands in first thing in the morning, I believe. So yeah. And Calvin Clark does sound every year, so you know it's gonna be fucking top notch. So yeah. Well, I think this is gonna be the last interview on Thursdays for a long time. I mean, nothing is permanent for us, but right now we're looking at potentially moving our interviews over to Sunday afternoons live from the flea market in St. Catharines. I just feel like it would be great for the musicians to come out and do things one-on-one with us, because I think we've moved to that level. I feel like it would give people the opportunity to meet them as well and get to know them, because I feel like, not that we gatekeep local music by any means. We need different ways of advertising and of getting out there, because I think things are shifting again, as far as how we get things out there, make our money, stuff like that. And I think it's always good to open up new areas and stuff like that. So as of right now, this is probably the last Thursday interview. So thank you for coming down and doing it in person. I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it. Absolutely. Mayhem Metal Market. We have June 7th at the Exchange. Let's see if I can get all these bands in order. Burn the Castle is opening. Benny Oso is going to come on stage. So we've got St. Catharines and Welland. And then we have Pathfinder from Toronto. I can't fucking wait to see them. And then Devils by Definition is right. I know. The whole lineup is just fucking gross, man.
Just keep going.
Right. And the thumbs up gets a little bit bigger. Devils by Definition from Windsor is coming out. Shout out to Bruce, because he's been a huge fucking support. All of them have been a huge fucking support for Soap City, but Bruce checks in regularly, shares our shit. So thank you for that. Tell your girlfriend I love her. Then we have Ready to Die from Niagara Falls. Rob Peters is one of my best friends. I've known him and his wife for years and years. Rob's one of my best friends. He's been a fantastic partner through doing a lot of the things that we've done. Catastrophic Hemorrhage. So they're co-headlining. They're out of Brantford. They're kind of scattered like you guys are, but mainly out of Brantford. Callum, their lead singer, is also doing our sound. So thank you for that, sir. Greatly appreciated. It was funny because 3 years ago, I had seen him, 2 years ago, I had seen him at Ryfield, and we were talking about one day doing something, one day working together. And then we had the opportunity to have him for sound for the market. And I'll tell you, I'm super excited because I know it's going to be perfect. So I'm not worried. Why? Are you upset? I'm not. What's the deal here, dog? You'll leave and she'll be quiet for the rest of the night. And then headlining, and this is their only Niagara show. And then the night after, they're in Toronto. And then I don't believe they have anything scheduled after that. Is Sky Caught Fire. I don't know how I pulled Rob, actually. Rob is how I pulled it off. So I was gonna say, like, I honestly didn't pull any of that off. Rob did it. So and a shout out to Regional Reptile Rescue and Rob for the sponsor. They've taken on a lot of the work, and they've helped with a lot of the organizing. And she's like, Nikki and Ryan are practically family. She and I run a store together and do all kinds of shit. We're always getting in trouble. So huge shout out to them. We have a shit ton of other sponsors, vendors, all that fun stuff, but we'll talk about that closer to the date. Thank you for everything. I don't know when we're going to see you live again. So have a nice night. Usually I hit end stream and we make fun.